Week 3 started off with some great news.
This morning I had 2 different offers that I wound up accepting. One of them was for a sign that my mom gave me that I ended up buying it for like $135, and then the 2 microphones that I got out of that lot for $50 total. So I still have to wrap up 2 of the items that I sold while I was away. One of them was that mini fridge. So anyway, I'm gonna go get all that stuff wrapped up.
I had left the refrigerator running all night to not only ensure it worked well, but also get video evidence. So I packed up that along with all the other orders. And then the next day,
finally I'm caught up and ready to go ship. I have 12 or 13 packages that need to go out today. Refrigerator, it was going like an army base essentially. And it had to have a custom tag put on it. And I had to look up a customs code. It was such a hassle for a $20 sale. Normally I would have canceled it, but it's a military person. I don't know if I did it right, but it's crazy you have to go through customs, send something to a US base. I don't understand it, but what do I know?
Next day, I came up with a big plan.
I'm going to run a 20% off sale, one day only, on pretty much everything in the store. I've done them in the past and I moved some stuff, but a little bit later, 2 sales so far today. This is the pasta die shape, over 20 bucks. That was before the sale started. Then I also sold this sweater that I got from my friend, also sold for about 20 bucks. And then also another piece of electronics, I think it was like 60 bucks. That was part of the sale. Somebody messaged me and said like, oh, does this work about it? Well, if it does, just so you know, everything gets video recorded. So if it doesn't work, I'll cancel the order and I'll let you know. This thing has like kind of dog hair or something on it, so I'm gonna at least take some masking tape to it. I don't know if you can see it. I don't have any pets. I don't know where that could have came from, and my friend doesn't have any pets either. So.
And then it was time to test the EQ, but luckily,
I had my work cut out for me starting off month 2 with the glass that I had bought. It was all
everything worked perfectly, and I knew the customer would be ecstatic.
doorknobs.
But then later on,
flash sale has not gone well. I had a vinyl record. Somebody offered me $4 for it. I was asking $20, which was the sales comp. That guy got added to the block list, and also looked at his feedback. At least 1 out of 10 were negative. Not subscribed.
Then somebody had made an offer on a vintage microphone that I had.
My original asking price was $50. Brought it down to like $39. They offered me $27, and a message that said, "Look, this is a flash sale. I'm not going any lower." They declined that, so they got added to the block list. Also, a decent amount of negative feedback. And then the last thing was that EQ that I sold earlier. So he's asking if the screen essentially works to show the frequency response. So I tested it and recorded it and took pictures and sent to him, and he said, "Do all the LEDs work? I just want to prevent a return." And I was like, yeah, good point. Maybe we should cancel the order. And he's like, wait, so all of them don't work? And I said, I don't know. I didn't push every single band to full volume. Literally gonna blow out my speaker. You're already talking a return? No, thank you. So canceled and blocked. The most annoying part is that listing had like 10 watchers on it beforehand.
As this was my second attempt, I was starting to realize that flash sales don't really do much. But luckily the next day,
I've been waiting for this. Now, this is my new used laptop I bought for eBay. So as long as it can handle what I need to do, I'm okay with it. It's better to get something like this than spend the $4,000 for a brand new one. I think that's a mistake of a lot of new business owners. They think like, oh, okay, we're having traction. Time to just go all in. Still have to bootstrap.
I finished setting up my computer, and then
I have 3 things to ship today. Breakers that I put up, 21 bucks plus shipping. I also have this EQ that I talked about last night. It's sold. I canceled it and it's sold again. The last thing is a pair of shorts. I'm gonna go get these things packaged up.
And as I packaged them, I wound up selling
this little lot of cables. There's 12 of them in here. I sold it for 40 bucks plus shipping. I was originally asking 50. I wasn't even gonna take this stuff. These are all just tiny little ones. And this stuff is worth pretty decent money. And it's easy, it just fits in this little box. If you have a way to test it, I definitely don't throw this kind of stuff out or scrap it. All right, so I have been so caught up trying to migrate over to QuickBooks. So I'm trying to get caught up on that because now I have 30 different sources of income. And on top of that, I have all these different expenses. And I just need it to be like simplified. But I totally forgot that I went over to that lady who I got faucets in month 1, smoke detectors and all that stuff.
And I wound up scoring a bunch of new inventory. I got 6 of these smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, which I listed for $169, 6 of these regular smoke detectors, 3 Moen bathroom faucets, 4 commercial door levers, 3 of these Season brand faucets, and for everything, only 110 bucks.
Really nice lady. Had to get a receipt for that because it's over 75 bucks.
And then the next morning,
still trying to get set up with QuickBooks. I just don't understand it. So I've been watching videos on how to do it. It's overwhelmed a little bit.
Later that day, I had to take a break from doing my bookwork, pack up that day's orders.
I had 2 coins for like 4 bucks. That's easy though. It just goes in this envelope and there's cardboard in there. Then I sold this open mail slot for like 16 bucks. I usually just make a clamshell around it of cardboard, wrap up the whole thing in bubble wrap and stick it in a poly bag. And then I also sold a microphone for 50. Trying to get it all wrapped up now.
Another return to my P.O. box. The customer who had bought the fuse holders claimed it didn't fit. And honestly, rather than fight with them, I just accepted the return. But luckily, it was in the same condition I sent it in, so really no big deal.
All my energy has gone into listing, editing, bookkeeping, all that kind of stuff. And everything else has just basically fallen to the wayside. So I really need to clean up my house. It's Friday night at right about 5 o'clock.
And while it's not always financial, everything comes at a cost. Throughout the series, I've dealt with a lot, from the ups and downs of sales, the scams and problem customers, and even the hate comments. And I understand that not everyone can handle situations the same way that I can, but there's no shame in that. And that's where today's sponsor, BetterHelp, comes in. They help match you with a licensed mental health professional that can help you express your emotions with guidance.
Joanna said I was a difficult American. I was obnoxious.
BetterHelp is designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Catman said you literally didn't do anything multiple days in a row.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Visit betterhelp.com/analog to get 10% off your first month.
So late last night, I actually had 2 different sales, like 6 $half sold for 18 bucks. The thing that made it more valuable, so you're basically buying a collection. Now the other thing that I sold is Shure Beta 87. Other day, I had a guy open up to the top cap and send me more photos on it. So I just blocked him because I'm not gonna do that. Like there's risk of damage and stuff. It was already 20% off. And then last night it sold for full price, 130 bucks. So very good, I did that. Now it's Saturday right now. I'm not gonna ship them until Monday, but I'll get them all packed up.
But first I had to test them.
Check.
Check.
Man, I've lost so much track of time. I think this is first day of week 4, but I really don't know.
But then the next day I had an appointment with
Same lady, the first faucet, smoke detectors last week, and now I'm going back there right now. It is a Sunday at around 6 o'clock at night. Going to get 13 faucets and 2 doorknobs from her. We agreed on 75 bucks. There might be other stuff over there. Okay, so I am back. Wound up spending $100 even. I'll give you a full breakdown of everything I got. 6 smoke detectors for $15. Bathroom ceiling light heater for $10. 13 faucet, 2 doorknobs for $5 total. Keyed entry, the same ones I bought the other day. Let's say the thing about doorknobs. There's different types for different applications. Keyed entry is your front door or side door. Privacy is bed and bath. Passage is hallways and closets. So people ask me a lot of the time, like, oh, you didn't do any research? I always do research, but I just obviously like wouldn't put that in there because it's boring. But with this stuff in particular, I know faucet paid $5 a piece for each of them. Minimum, even in lots, you're gonna get $20 a piece for them, regardless of the brand. I know that most of these brands, I've sold most of these brands. I've dealt with this lady before. And honestly, if you scrap them, you're probably gonna get a pound of brass out of them. It's just $2. Not a big risk at all. Now, it seems to be with that kind of stuff, people want quantity. So you can give them a bunch of stuff. It usually moves quicker than some individual. Doorknobs have one of the slowest sell-through rates, and look at what I did with that.
But the next day I would eat my own words.
Kind of annoying. Those smoke detectors that I sold, man, I just was talking about how contractors are easy to deal with. He's open a return for wrong item sent, but I only had those 4. Those are the ones I took a picture of. And his photo that he's showing is the right one. Not worth my headache right now to fight with all these people. So whatever, it's gonna cost me $10 to get it back. I don't know, I'll probably just accept the return. It definitely did make the videos way more interesting. But like right now, I just have way too much on my plate between like YouTube, editing videos, listing stuff, sourcing stuff, trying to reply to comments, negotiating with sponsorships. It's just like too much of a pain in the to like argue with somebody that's just like clearly in the wrong. I'm not even gonna attempt to do that. So I just don't need that level of conflict in my life at this point. It's not good for me to be fighting with people every single day, all day.
And I'm glad I kept a positive attitude because later on that night,
I just heard the ka-ching go off and I sold one of the amplifiers out of that lot I bought last month for 120 bucks plus shipping. Not bad at all. I'm gonna have to make a box for that tomorrow because it doesn't fit into anything, but they're pretty easy to ship because like they're hard pause. The box is more just to like encapsulate it.
But because I had accepted a best offer, the buyer still didn't pay. And then the next day, I started to rethink my whole strategy.
Up until this point, I was in a long-term eBay outlook. Kind of milk everything slowly, keep getting more inventory. But now at this point, doing things a little bit more selectively. My goal is to liquidate a lot of my inventory. And I still will be acquiring new stuff, but it's gonna be far and few between. I don't wanna be stuck in this constant cycle, keep doing the same things. We wanna kind of take everything that we've built and sort of level up.
And then later on that afternoon, the amplifier buyer had finally paid. So now it was time to test, hack, and ship it.
Don't have a food scale? Here's a bathroom scale. Find a way. Figure it out. You don't have
just got done hacking up that amplifier. Now, normally I would have customized the length and the width. Worth to check the price difference between what a custom box would be versus the box that you already have on hand that'll fit into. So all I had to do was customize this height wide because they were the exact same cost. I'm definitely starting to check into that more often.
And while I was happy about that, I was in no way prepared for what would happen the next day.
He can't ever win. The guy with the smoke detectors I said the other day, it's just not worth my headache to fight with people. He left me negative feedback. After I accepted the return, I didn't even argue with him. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. What a fucking idiot. So ridiculous. I messaged the buyer and I was like, hey man, I accepted your return. Why did you leave me negative feedback? And he's like, well, because I got the wrong thing. Maybe I should have left you less stars. How about not leaving feedback at all because the transaction's getting undone right now? So stupid. So the issue with that, I had wrote BRK smoke detectors, and the ones that I had, smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. I must have just not realized that I didn't put that in the title. And so that guy was mad, even though the ones that I sent them are a better product. I don't know why you wouldn't just keep them. He admitted the negative feedback that they're more expensive. But no, he sent it back. It's not worth the headache, and still turned into a headache. It's like I'm trying to be a bigger person here and not bring everything to eBay for business, but the guy leaves me negative feedback. He's getting his money back. I don't know what else he wants.
As annoying as that was, luckily later on that night,
DJ mixer that I got out of that other lot, the guy messaged me about it. He said the iPod is the part I actually need to work, and I never could test that because it's the old style. He's like, who pays for return shipping? And I'm like, you do. Wait, I'm confused. Well, I tested it to the best of my ability. I said it's as is. I know that the CD parts of it work. If the iPod part doesn't work, I can't be responsible just because it doesn't fit your specific need. And the thing's big and heavy. He said, okay, he sent me an offer for $175, which I accepted, and there it is. He just paid. So I have a couple of things to ship today. One of them is a piece of glass and then that DJ controller. Then I also sold another box of breakers for scrap. I don't know if I'm gonna ship that today.
So I packed them all up and brought them to the post office where the smoke detector return was waiting for me. So I brought it home and inspected it. I wound up giving the guy a full refund, and I was really excited to get this all behind me because that would mean I could get the feedback removed.
I'm not in a good mood right now, and I'll tell you exactly why. eBay for Business has completely f***ed me. I messaged eBay for Business and they said, fill out a feedback removal request. So I filled it out. They said, well, the return's still open, so we can't do anything. Then I messaged them again. I said, okay, once I refund the guy, will I be able to get my feedback removed? And Marie told me that if I give him back all of his money, look at that as a way that you help the customer and we'll remove the negative feedback. I get it back today. I refund the guy every dollar that he ever spent with me. And then I message him again, and Tehran tells me, no, I'm not going to remove it. We'll change our feedback policies. So this guy hasn't even done a fucking transaction with me. He got his money back. It's gone. And yet, he's still allowed to leave up his negative feedback. Marie misled me, and Tehran was no help to me whatsoever. He's like, well, you can ask him to change it. Like, the guy's obviously unreasonable. This is the only feedback he's ever left, was negative feedback for a transaction that's getting refunded. And he spelled my name wrong 3 times, even though it's literally on the fucking top line of the Facebook message. So just know, you guys can buy something, lie about it, and if the person doesn't fight it, you can leave them negative feedback and get all your money back.
Yeah, I was angry, but I never would have imagined what happened the next day.
Send a feedback revision to the guy. I refunded all the money. Can you please revise your feedback? And he did. He doesn't give me neutral, but he gave me positive.
Realistically, I don't know if this guy had a change of heart where he realized he was kind of being an ass, or he had left me negative feedback in order to hold it over my head to ensure I gave him back his money. But either way, I was happy.
I guess the one biggest change we can see from the start of this month to now went from being pretty heavy in the breaker business to being completely out. I got way more than my money back on the breakers I did buy. Not the business I want to be in anymore. So I'm going to ship out this for scrap and just have a nice, easy life.
Good luck.
It is the next morning. It is the first day of month 5, but I just want to wrap up and say, usually I have a good last day of the month and nothing exciting happened. Didn't sell a single thing. The only thing that happened was that guy took down his negative feedback.
And in the first day of month number 6,
actually just resell smoke detectors that the guy returned. Realized them yesterday. So that was a really, really quick turnaround, and actually sold them for $10 more than he paid for them.
Now for the results. In all month 5, after paying for shipping, fees, refunds, returns, and reinvesting in all my inventory, I made $1221.75 74. So not the best month ever, but I was away for a whole entire week, so that's still pretty good to me. The other thing was, obviously, I had a bunch of returns that month, which really brought it down. And then even like the smoke detectors that happened the first day of month number 6. It's just a random 4-week group. Big takeaway is a lot of these people that are problem customers aren't necessarily looking to have their problems solved. Sure, there is that some of the time, but majority of the people that I've dealt with in this video and in upcoming videos, as you'll see, they're looking for a fight. They're bored. They're looking to flex their power. So just giving in and being like, okay, I'll fix your problem for you is not enough. They came there with an agenda, and if you don't help them fulfill that agenda, they're gonna create bigger problems for you. When I imagine these types of people, they're those people that you know that always have to win. They're always writing all their stories. They always have the upper hand. Oh, you did that? I did this! And it's never enough just to get what they're looking for. They always have to get one more. They always have to negotiate after the fact, because it would just be easier to say, send it back to me, whatever. Kind of leads to bigger problems a lot of the time. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing these in 2 parts. We'll see how this goes.